Hi everybody and welcome to the first of this week's Daily Ghetto Vlogs. So for those that don't know, I'm going to be doing a vlog every day this week. We're going to run Monday through to Friday. I've got some real big projects that I'm working on here in the 3.0 and I'm going to be covering that over the course of the week. If for any reason you haven't seen Sunday's vlog, I would advise watching that first because that's very much the story so far, right? I'm going to be literally picking up where we've left off. So last time you saw me, what I had done is I had this big Billy bookcase situated here. I told you guys I wasn't happy with it. It basically detracted from the room. It was too high. Wherever I stood, it kind of encroached upon my lighting strip, and I just generally wasn't happy with it. And then we settled upon this idea. So what I've done is similar to the units at the back. So this is a half-size Billy with the riser attached to the top. And I think that gives an absolutely perfect shape. So the plan, for those that don't know, is we're going to have two of these. So we're going to have one facing this way, like this. Obviously not this one. This is going to go back in that gap. And then we're going to have a second one behind it, giving almost like a library effect. It's going to obviously double the amount of storage that we've got here. And we've got loads more plans as to what we're going to do to further modify not only this, but this wall. What this does is open up all of this for us so that we can then, once this is done, move into rehousing the Wii, the Game Boy, and then we can set about creating a Sega wall, much in the same way that I've now got a Super Nintendo wall here. So that's very much the plan. As you can see, the room is absolutely upside down. But we haven't got time to clean it right now. I'm going to fly to IKEA, make a start on this by getting the bits that I need. Let's go. Okay, here we are. Made it to my regular stomping ground. If it's not a charity shop, it's IKEA. Yeah, there's loads of things that I need to be picking up. I'm probably going to have to do more than one trip because I've also got to get stuff for what was the 2.5, which is going to be mini Ghetto's room, right? So we're going to have a car full on this trip. But I'm also going to grab the things that I need to implement the change by the kiosk. So we're getting two half billies, two risers to get the exact height that we spoke about. There's also a couple of other things that I want to take a look at, which I might be able to implement into the 3.0 as well. But yeah, man, let's go. So longer term viewers of the channel will know there was a period where Mrs. RG let me have her Lego orchid that we built. I think it was Christmas time, right? I kind of liked having that plant. I know it's not a real plant, but there was something nice about having that bit of colour in there, that pop of green. And I don't know, should I buy a fake plant? Does the 3.0 need plant life? Or maybe a real plant? Is plant, are they good for like the air? Is it good for the cardboard? I don't know. Thinking about it though. What on earth are you doing? Right, I'm going, bye. So this is the pace that I have to walk at because of this thing. So I had a lot of people in the comments ask me what the units are called that are currently housing the Wii U and Game Boy games. It's this one here. So this Besta, £20, the more shallow one. But then you can buy additional shelves for £5. But yeah, that's what I'm currently using. But the way it's going, I'm going to be getting rid of those shortly. Anyway, I've made it to the hallowed ground of collectors everywhere, the Billy area. So what I want today is two of these extensions, which are ridiculous prices, right? I think this is how these companies make money now. They charge a relatively low price.
Good afternoon to all of our customers. Those whose homes are their passion.
I'll tell you before the lady interrupted me, this is, I think, how they make the money. They charge a relatively low price for the unit, and then all the add-ons are so expensive. These should not be £25, comparative to £55 for a full unit. You know, it's such a fraction of the size, but yeah, we need two of these. And we're also going to need two of the half billies, which are here. So the Billy is 35. So total for this in here is going to come to £120. And like I say, these are extortionate as well. So they charge £12 each per shelf, which I think is a ridiculous price. But thankfully, we've got loads of these available on the big Billy that we're replacing. So yeah, we shouldn't have to buy any additional shelving, which is a big bonus. One of the things I've never seen before, which could be absolutely perfect for me, is this Billy drawer. So as I think I said on last week's vlog, by implementing this change, I'm going to lose those small set of drawers that I've currently got. So being able to put this into the bottom of the billy and it's on wheels, this can like house all the rubbish that I don't want on display. And it doesn't necessarily take up too much of the unit itself, and this will be on the flip side of the unit, so this will only be on display from the rear, so as you come in through the gym door. So yeah, I think this could be a perfect solution. Might not pick it up today because I'd rather get everything built and then make a decision, but I definitely think I'll be implementing that. This cot's gone up 90 quid in the 5 years since I last bought one. Should have kept hold of everything, man. Okay, so IKEA life hack. I fancied a bit to eat, but not a main meal. I'm going to go home and have a meal in a moment. Fish and chips is £7 for adults. So I thought, let's have a kids one. And I'll show you the kids one. Look at that. £1.50 for the kids one. That, with a couple of rolls, that's the way to do it. Save yourself, what, £5.50? Life hacks. Brought to you by Retro Ghetto. Wow, I'm so impressed with that. Proper life hack as well, because like I say, $6.99 for an adult's meal. And all they do is cut the fish in half and then charge you £1.50. So theoretically, you could just buy 2 kids' meals. And they give you a piece of fruit and a refillable drink with a kids' meal. Take advantage. So little man just showed me that he's coloured in his picture of Ken. And I've got no words. What is that? Oh dear. Okay, back from my IKEA trip. And it's time to make a bit of space in here. I'm not going to be able to build any furniture with all this stuff going on. So I think the first job is to get rid of this big billy. I've got somewhere in the house that this can go for a bit of extra storage. But obviously I'm going to take out these £12 each shelves because we'll be utilising these throughout the game room. So the first thing is to get all those shelves taken out. Okay, that's the shelves removed and it's left me with this outer shell. And what I would say is another tip to anybody that's got a similar billy situation where they've got one that they're no longer utilising, break these off. You can sort of quite easily break these down. And whilst these don't have the sort of same pieces underneath that the small brackets sit on to create shelving, a couple that I'm pre-existing in the room are just doing that exact method. They're just sat on top of these brackets, and like I say, with them being £12 each, don't let these go to waste. Just quite easily break them off from the top, from the bottom, from the middle, and use these as shelves in the billies that you're currently... Okay, so the big billy's out of here. The only casualties was Pegasus and these couple of scratches up here, but nothing that can't be resolved. Before I unload the car, what I need to do is get this put back into place. Create a bit more of a space here, and then we can get to building. Note to self, don't lift the riser out of position. Could have been worse. Well, I spoke too soon about it could be worse. It's now worse. I've knocked the backing off. The thing is, this is like making jobs for yourself. This is what I do. You know, I try and do a job and I make myself about 4 more in the process. The only reason I moved this was just so I could see what it would look like. So before we've even begun, before we've even unloaded the car, I've now got to fix this. Right, I'm sweating. I've barely even started. The back in place, I made such a meal of this. The back fell out twice. I had to get loads more nails. If anyone's like used to using billies, those bits at the back, once they fall out, it's such a pain to get them back in. And then, because I've got like a plug extension attached to this one, I end up having that fall off. So then I had to take this out to feed it back round. It was long. Let's just stop talking about it. Let's go and unload the car. Actually, let's get this area filled up first, create a bit more space. Oh, I wish it'd been that quick for me, but everything's in. Now, let's get building. Okay, so the 47 items I bought from IKEA are in the house. The ones that I need for the 3.0 are here. And the only damage done was to my thumb, so I'll take that as a success. What I did do though, which I wouldn't call a success, is take this off the wall. I used like a Velcro strip, and it's taken paint off the wall, which isn't too much of a problem because I've got to fill these holes in anyway, which is where I had the big billy supported previously. So the next job before I start building things and putting things in the way is to sort this out. So I need to take these wall plugs out, get it filled up, then we'll let that dry, sand it, and then sort of paint the whole area. There's a few, you know, scuffs that have developed over the last year in here anyway, so running around with a roller isn't a bad idea anyway. So whilst I got the filler out, I've discovered another little hack. So, on the top of the billies you get these little gaps. Now these are what you use when you put the risers on. But if you're not adding risers, a little bit of filler up, because it just annoys me that I can see these little circles throughout my room. So I've just put a little bit of white filler on with my finger. Much better. Just the little details. Okay, so that is the first one built. Now we are going to build the riser to go with it. Put this into position now. I think it just sits a little bit low. I do think that riser just makes it the perfect height, so let's get building one of these bad boys. Okay, that's the riser built, and it was really easy, as you might expect. However, I remember this now from the last time I built one. If you follow the instructions exactly, what will happen is it will get you to put this piece on the top, so you'll end up with the code in here and these big holes on the top. I never initially understood why. I'm assuming it's because I imagine 9 times out of 10 people are extending the bigger billies, so it's above head height, right? So you'd never sort of see that, and maybe there's more chance of seeing the inside of it, right, if you're not filling it. I suppose not many people are doing what I'm doing and creating like an in-between height and extending a smaller one as opposed to extending a bigger one. But just bear that in mind if you do ever buy a riser, that you just need to slightly tweak the plan so that you end up with a nice clean white top surface as opposed to the other side. What we need to do now then is get this fitted to the billy itself. The only thing with fitting the risers to the half billies is that you have to measure, mark and drill your own holes. Again, I just think it's because these half ones aren't designed to be extended. The holes that we filled earlier with the filler, that's because it was the riser itself that had those holes on the top, so you can effectively keep adding as high as you want. But yeah, annoyingly you have to sort of do this bit yourself. And there you go, the line doesn't get much cleaner than that. So that is the first unit built. Obviously we're going to be building 2, there's going to be one on the other side of it, and I think for the first time though we can really get a feel of how it's going to look. So as you see, when you walk into the room, it doesn't hinder the view of anything. All that it's blocking really is the door, so you can still see all the games behind. There's going to be full of games here, as well as obviously games on the other side. I've got a plan for the front side of this unit, as well as something on the top, as well as something on that wall, as well as something behind the kiosk, and ultimately taking off all these units and getting the Sega wall going as well. So yeah, really happy with where we're at, and yeah, just excited to carry on and get this project completed now. Okay, so as you guys have seen, we're running out of hours today, and I think in terms of where we've got to with the project, it's a good time to call it a day. Also, I like to get into Tiny Thor in the evenings. I'm still really enjoying this game. Like I keep saying, it's hard, man. I'm on level 19 now of 20, and the difficulty curve is just ramping up all the time. I'm at that point where every checkpoint I get to in each level is a celebration, because yeah, it's very, very precise in its platforming, but really enjoying it. I'm still concurrently playing through the Modern Warfare 2 campaign as well, so two very different games, but I'm enjoying them both. And even in all the chaos of having to move everything around just so I can sit down, I'm still finding time to do a bit of gaming, so I think that's crucial, right? So I just want to give a massive thank you to everybody. This is the first ever daily vlog. As I say, there's going to be 4 more. We're doing this concurrently now right up until Friday, so I'm hoping you can continue on this journey with me. Not only have we got all these plans to keep improving the games room, I've also got a few other things that I'm going to be doing outside of the 3.0 as well. So massive thank you to everybody that keeps supporting myself. I'll see you all tomorrow in a bit.
You're watching the Retro Ghetto.
Ghetto.
Ghetto!
Yeah!
Lock into the retro ghetto.